Good morning and welcome to Episode 4, Series 1 of Rob Purfield's DriveTime video podcast series. You joined me this morning as I'm driving along the M62 in England, in East Yorkshire. I'm heading to a client today to work with some of their sales team to talk about what we've labelled as the guest experience. I'll give you some background to that. First of all, one of the things we identified is that although in sales departments everybody talks about customers, actually in the motor industry, most of the time the sales team actually deal with prospective customers rather than customers. Because if you could define customers as being people who come into a business, buy something, pay for it and have it delivered, then you're a customer. That's once you've bought something, paid for it and had it delivered, you're a customer. Up until that point, you're a prospective customer. And for the most part in the motor industry, the sales team are dealing with people up to the point of order. As a business, they then become a customer, and what happens is we hand that customer over to the service department. So if you like, salespeople don't really deal with customers, they deal with prospective customers. So we looked at that from the perspective that if somebody is coming into our showroom as a prospective customer, then we should be treating them like a guest in very much the same way as you would treat a guest in your house. So, in my mind, if we've got guests coming over for dinner, then the day of the dinner party, then everything in the house will be tidied away. My wife, Mrs. P, will be doing some cleaning and making sure everything's spick and span. Not that it isn't always spick and span, of course, but extra spick and span because we've got guests. So we've created a mindset in the business of everybody that visits the business is a guest. So any visitors to our showroom, we're going to treat them like guests in the same way as we would treat somebody as a guest in our own home. And around that, we've built in what actually is normal etiquette. So, for example, if somebody comes into your home, then you would normally stand up to greet them. So we've worked with the sales teams and said, look, whenever you interact with anybody in the showroom, then stand up to greet them. If you have a guest in your house, when they leave, then you would typically walk them to the door as a minimum. We've gone an extra step further, forgive the pun, but we've gone an extra step further and suggested that maybe what we should do is walk them back to their car. Now, all of these small things might seem as though they don't make a difference in actually selling the car, but they do make a massive difference in terms of the customer experience. And the customers, either at a conscious level or at a less conscious level, will actually feel more welcome and feel more valued because of the natural good manners of the dealership. So they were the key things I wanted to touch on with you today, really just to kind of stir up your thought process. It might be worth sitting down with your teams and being self-analytical on how good are we at each of those things. Or maybe if you're a dealer principal or a sales manager, maybe just having a look around the showroom and seeing what actually happens with your guests. So that's it from me today. I hope you have a brilliant rest of the day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Good selling. And I look forward to talking to you sometime soon in my next video podcast.